Kelly joins us in Philadelphia. Kelly, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today.
Sure. What's your question?
So let me preface this with saying that I was previously involved in a financially abusive relationship. So I take financial security very seriously and makes me nervous. I am in a somewhat new relationship. The relationship I'm referencing was 4 years ago, so we're past that. This new relationship is moving along quickly. However, I just found out that they have a significant amount of debt with not a lot of income, and I'm just not sure if it's something I should, try to work with them through, or if I'm just sort of putting myself in a bad situation considering their tendencies to make poor decisions with money.
Was he hiding it and you found out, or you were just talking about it and
It's just kind of come up naturally.
So it's bits and pieces. It started when we were talking about the hypothetical wedding stuff, and I said, given my history, I was leaning more towards separate accounts. The more I learn about, this program, I learned that you want to be able to share accounts. But for sake of the conversation, I mentioned separate accounts, and he got really offended. And I brought up, I was like, well, you've told me that you're bad with money before, and I didn't know what that meant. Then he mentioned a low credit score, and I'm like, well, we got to fix that before we get married. I mean, I can't have it affect my car insurance and all my rates and everything. I've worked too hard to get where I'm at.
How long have you been dating?
It got to a point, 4 months.
Wow. We're already talking about marriage?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too, is I sort of am kind of feeling like maybe there's a reason why he's trying to move, put pressure on it. He knows that financially I'm secure. I mean, I'm not a millionaire yet.
Do you think
it's one of those
think he's
things,
using you in a sense of like, well, she's financially secure, I'm going to hitch my cart to this wagon?
Yeah, is he trying to freeload?
I don't think that, but I do know, and he admitted that if I didn't push and pry about what's your credit, what do you owe, that he would have kept it from me because I'm the only person in his life he has ever told about his debt.
Okay. I mean, it may just come from a place of shame and guilt and baggage. Sure. So if we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I agree, we need to pump the brakes on this relationship. And here's the thing we need to figure out: values and goals. Because people are willing to change.
Right.
I mean, I would never say, hey, don't date a guy because he has debt. Mm-hmm. But if you say this guy says he's fine staying in debt and he's fine where he's at, that's a huge red flag to me.
Yeah. Is he willing? Is he actively working to pay off some of this debt? Is he saying things like, yeah, once I get out of debt, blah, blah, blah? Or, what are his views moving forward? Because just because, he started there, that doesn't necessarily mean that's his future. So.
Yeah. So we had to talk about it once I found out that it's $70,000 and 50 of it was acquired in the past 2 to 3 years by just credit card nonsense, knowingly spending money he didn't have. And, he said he's willing to work through. I mean, I went through a budget with him and everything. There's not a ton of money left to spend. He's willing to do it, but I was open about my concerns that it could happen again, and he got very defensive.
I would listen to this voice, Kelly, and what I'm going to do is send you 2 copies of the Total Money Makeover. Read through it with him, and if he has a heart change and he's ready to go gun-ho and get rid of this, stay with him.